Good morning. Welcome to Flat Earth Early Bird number 1615. I'm your host, Arwin. And before we start the show, please don't forget to share it on any platform you deem fit. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification so you know when I'm going live, which is normally 1 p.m. Amsterdam time in the weekdays and 2 p.m. Amsterdam time in the weekend. And please also do support me through the PayPal and the Patreon. That would be much appreciated. And I can really use the support still. So please, guys, keep your local Arwin fed. That would be great. Anyway, weather today is beautiful. The sky is a bit hazy. It really cleared up yesterday in the evening, but yeah, now it's kind of hazy again. So it's still plenty warm. There's still sun coming through. Plants are enjoying it. The wind is a little less heavy as it was yesterday. It was really blowing. Alright. So, it's Monday, the 29th of March, 2023. Let's check the temperature. 18 degrees Celsius, right? Still very nice. Right. So, yeah, it's Monday again and I'm starting normal time. Yesterday I started at 1 p.m. too, but yeah, I just didn't feel like waiting another hour, I think, and I was ready to go, and I did. Alright, what was I doing yesterday? Right, there wasn't a lot of streams going on. I think maybe Flatsoid had one, but I missed it. Let me check. Hey Clutch, first in chat, good to see you. Yeah, watch Quantum of Conscious. Free Voice Sunday. And that was decently interesting. And sometimes he's really onto something, and this time it was like, yeah, maybe. It was interesting. So, did any of you actually watch the what is it? Dead Internet Theory? Did anybody watch it? Alright, well, other than all that, Eric Dubay uploaded the audiobook again. Huge. huge video. Nathan premiered some, but yeah, I didn't really end up watching it too much. Watching more angry video game nerd, like a lot of newer stuff. He's just been at it for years, and I haven't followed any of it really. So I'm like, except for like some of the earlier seasons, I watched some, like 5 and 6, but I'm at like 13 now, and he's still going. So this is like all post 2020 stuff. Other than that, yeah, my back is doing a little bit better again, so I don't freeze up as much. It's still like a little sore, but now I can basically sit around and it won't be, I won't be like a, I can basically straighten up pretty quick, so that's nice. Seen some flat earth guy debate on a religious channel. Okay. Right, well, if you see a flat earther you don't know, right? You should ask, like, or like say like, hey, do you know about flat earth debates, or about Arwin, or whoever you think would be a good hook? Oh, you've never seen someone screw. Oh, okay. Flat Earth Society? Okay. Well, I don't know where they get these people. I mean, where do those people hang around? And like, did he have a channel? Did you check it out? Hello, Richard G, by the way. Good to see you. Right, but I mean, yeah. I don't know exactly who you're talking about, Clutch. But I mean, I have a suspicion there could be like fake flat earth flunkies out there. Like basically media guys that do that act like flat earthers and offer their services to be easily defeated. I mean, I can imagine that that's out there and would even like be very helped. Okay, it was shared on Skype later. Sure. Did you know most recycling can't be recycled? Oh, there's a lot that it can't, yeah. A 2 out of 7. Right. But yeah, I mean, Richard G, I know. Like, some of it can be recycled, and I think the rest is just eventually end up getting burned. So, yeah, it is what it is. Or landfill, perhaps, I guess. Government doesn't tell people. Well, they're not hyping up about it. But I mean, yeah, plastic is an issue and it's being dealt with. I mean, there are a lot of initiatives that kind of try to get other types of resources to replace it. Like the Eco Plaza, the supermarket, organic supermarket that I go to, they have a lot of things they do. Like glass jar type situations, you can choose that, and there's like plastic bags that are not plastic effectively, but some other stuff that's made from plants. But it works decently well. I mean, it's not as simple and durable as plastic, but I mean, it works. And so, and they have paper bags too. So yeah, plastic. It's best to just like try to cut it down as much as possible because it's not very recyclable. Right. So yeah, overall, I agree. I try to avoid plastic. It's a bit weird too. Like there used to be here at least there was like plastic recycling happening. Now they don't do that anymore. You just throw it away in the trash. Just kind of weird. Like I was disappointed at the time, but yeah, if you when you realize that not a lot of plastic does actually get recycled, that makes more sense. But it's still kind of a shame. Hey, Dr. Utker, Territ 306. Right, by the way, got a little news flash from Nathan that FED apparently is starting an hour late today. I'll still be doing a 2 hour show and then, like, yeah, like get groceries and stuff. And then FED is gonna start an hour later, apparently. So, just so you know. Right. By the way, I got an Illuminati croissant over here. It's nice. Salad bowl. So I'm all stocked up. I moved away from like the baby leaf bags, by the way, because turns out that a lot of it would, I don't know what exactly they threw in there, but some of that stuff like seems to rot pretty quickly and was getting really annoying just trying to get all the rotten pieces out of it. Like even with like young bags. I don't know why, but it just... So I now get just separate stuff with rucola and some other like really mini shoots. Like these little clusters. But this stuff like doesn't rot at all. So I just like combine my salad bowls with those two bags, and this is much better. Of course, the rucola super bitter, by the way, but great. Walnuts and cheese. Yeah, I guess that's doable. I just eat it like that. Right, so what can I talk about today? You like it rabbit style? Yeah, I guess. Right, just eat it like a cow. I don't feel like, oh, I need to mix in other stuff to make it taste better. No, I embrace the sucky taste because I directly associate it with how healthy it is. I mean, it's like rucola is really fucking gross, but it's so healthy, and I just... The more bitter it would be, the more healthy I know it would be. Then I just cross the signals. So it makes me very happy about how fucking gross it is. Because I know that, like, the healthiness of it equals out with how gross it is. Vitamin D drops? Okay. Yeah, I don't really do any vitamin D supplements. Right, I could bring up something, but it's kind of political, and I don't know if I want to immediately go there. I did yesterday bring up basically about Russiaphobia, or it's really worse than that, anti-Russian sentiment, and that is going around. apparently recently in some meeting with Zelensky, Lindsey Graham, it's really deplorable United States senator, literally just said like, oh, Russians are dying, it's our best investment ever. Like, what a sick bastard. I mean, this is just like Nazi talk from movies and shit. That's what he's doing. He's a sick bastard. Yeah, really. He really did that. It's like on record. But it's super shameful, and there is, like, people are taking notice, like, this is, like, way... You don't want to associate with that. Like, this is just crazy genocide talk. I mean, let's just get very typical and replace the word Russian with a Jew, and then you might recognize it more, right? But yeah, that's going on out there, and it's like, I'm not surprised at all. I've seen how fucking fucked up some of these people are, even way back. Like, when I was like hanging around like weird groups, freaky shit, I just noticed that there was this intense anti-Russian sentiment with some people, and they were like, and that there was going to be a war in Ukraine. Like, I heard about that in like 2006. They were all preparing to go there. And yeah, crazy stuff. Like, real anti-Russian. Like, I don't get it. Like, what the fuck did they ever do? Except beat Hitler. And yeah, communism kind of sucked. But they're clearly over that. Or Christian now, and like, that's really great. But there's people that just like intensely hate them, and they rile themselves up against them. So it's very reminiscent to like what happened with the Nazis. Like, target boogeyman and then blame it all on them, and like really rile yourself up, and that's what's happening. I've noticed that for quite a while. But it's been very hard with all the media propaganda to really get, yeah, to send out a message about that. Finally now it's catching on better, because, well, the whole WEF agenda and all that, it has them coming out and doing all this, it has changed the overall setting in the world, and people are now just like, they know it's propaganda, they know there's a lot of media lies, especially concerning Ukraine, like massive levels of propaganda. There's complete flip scenario, inside out stories. And people are picking up on, like, yeah, but just look at Russian operations. They are doing really well. They're effective. And yeah, they do get casualties. But they're all so freaking honorable. It's something to behold, really. And it's not freaking misinformation. That's literal. It's just on camera and shit. It's like they're all behaving really admirable, really honorable. It's incredible. Go out of their way to rescue hostages and shit. Oh, hello, Luke Duke. Yeah, I don't want to get into that, thanks very much. Yeah, the last part, yes, I know. I don't want to get into the details. Look, I'm not here to roll out the alternative news and get all strike shit and all that again for talking about the latest thing or whatever it may be. So just giving a general comparison, because this is about, I was specifically talking about public awareness. So that's not like conspiracy theorist awareness that are like way ahead of that. Of course. Of course, you guys watching my show, you probably were aware about most of this, about the misinformation and what's going on. But now it's creeping up to the more general public. They're starting to notice, like, yeah, Russia is actually pretty good. Media's really against them, and you can't defend them, and they're getting persecuted. Like the Jews. That's always, right, based on that setup that we're all, yeah, use endlessly as examples. Second World War and the camps, and I know there's a lot of weird issues with that. Right, the numbers and all that, and backdrop, and it's all been, it's just weird how it all happened. But I feel like in ways they were really like using Jews as a boogeyman and not really like slaughtering them as much, but just continually like putting them in that pit. And yeah. And then of course people would actually get killed and shit. That did happen. People did get shot in the street and all that. It was terrifying and horrible. But I think that like some of these speeches from Hitler and all that in the later period especially, it's just like, it's really exaggerated. It's just fueling the boogeyman fuel more than it was actually slaughtering them all to that level. Like, I don't think it's so weird, man. But that's with freaking Nazis. It's like, just look at the propaganda now that's coming from Ukraine, from the Nazis that are openly Nazis, and look at how much they lie. And then just realize, like, yeah. So taking into account how much they flip things inside out and all that and make complete nonsense fabrications. And that's like normal to them. Like, they don't even like get shocked when you figure it out. It's like so standard. Well, why wouldn't you assume that all the things that came rolling out of their media and out of the speeches back then would also not be such level bluff? See? Did you ever think about it, right? We always get like the historical documents and presentations, and then it's like, oh, see how far he went. Oh, it's so extreme. But it was made to seem like that. It was there to impress more, I think, than it was to actually do that. Because it was all bluff-based. It's what the Nazis do. Hype you up. Make you get carried away in this big spectacle-like event feeling. It's how they operate. Why do you think they are doing this? Because Russia's been like targeted. Like America was. It's like America and Russia both were targeted for some reason. Because of like Christian origins, I think. And America is really like just, I mean, there's still Christians there, but I mean, it's obvious that the government's been completely taken over by Satanists. And they are really fueling this fire against Russia. Apparently Lindsey Graham is like on the top of that list, like making open remarks that basically promote genocide against Russians. Because Russia never, I mean, they got infected with communism, but then they kind of like adapted and persevered, and was a lot of suffering, but they really did get out of it. They sicked it out, and they learned a lot from it, like a lot. They became stronger and wiser. And they're not defeated. They've never been defeated like by an outside military force like that. They were only conquered from within through communism for a bit. Well, for not a bit, it was quite a while actually, but you know what I mean. And so they're not breaking, they're stronger, they're not gonna go along with this new satanic movement, this control political web. Although they might be doing some of that on their own, but I think they're mostly really just purifying everything as much as possible because it just works better. And so they remain undefeated. And they will remain so. I mean, I've said it years ago. Like, they are going to win this war. Just, it's all a matter of, can you prevent these fucked up anti-Russian politicians everywhere, WEF agents, from literally stripping all the resources from your country just to throw at the Russians, completely futile. Because that's what's happening. That's what's happening, guys. They're literally ripping money from countries, including my own, and just throwing it to Zelensky, and a lot of it literally gets blown up. Like large ammunition shipments, they just get blown up as soon as they reach the border there. Like, it's what happens. It's all being silenced and shit, but the Russians are really effective at doing this. And we are getting drained. Europe. And arguably America too. But I mean, they get drained from all sides. I don't know how the hell they're managing this craziness that's going on. All this industrial sabotage from within. Russia will attack Israel. Okay. Interesting. Duke. I didn't know that. Really? Does it really literally say that? Or is that interpreted? Like, yeah, it's probably right. But, it's in code for right. It's just weird, Luke Duke. It's like this Jesus return thing. Like, really? So there's really an individual going to just suddenly come out of the shadows and into the public, and it's Jesus Christ? Like, dude. Or is this all still supposed to take place in the future? It's... America won't be able to help? What do you mean? These lands have been disputed lands for a long... No, not really, Richard G. Not really. Ukraine was actually originally a part of Russia. It's just that frickin' Nazis moved in there. Like during World War II. When Russia... Yeah, when... With the whole Stalingrad thing. And... It's become disputed in the 20th century. Before that, it wasn't. Might have been some, like, I don't know, internal tribe thing, maybe, at some point in the earlier stages, but overall, I don't think Ukraine really has been disputed until the Nazis got involved. But maybe I got that wrong. I just didn't think so. I have like looked a little bit into Russian history also, thanks to a lot of it being written about like at websites like RT. They have a lot of articles that do actually delve into history. It's kind of interesting. Just trying to give me some idea. Okay, fine, Luke Duke. Hey, Flatter Sage, good to see you. I'm gonna chow down on this Illuminati croissant. Wow, time has flown. Right, yeah, I've heard that before, Luke Duke. The giants Gog and Magog. And it was supposed to be Russia. I've heard that before. Ukraine will be part of Russia. I know it will. Absolutely, it's going to reunite. And potentially some of the other Balkan or like the eastern states as well. Right? And once you realize that nukes aren't actually real, then you also realize that Russia just has this massive advantage. Because they're just way better at ground war. Way better at it. And it's so freaking, like, what are you gonna do? Like, conquer, can you imagine trying to conquer the ground of the entirety of Russia? It's like trying to conquer a planet. It's so fucking huge. And a lot of it is super hospitable territory. I mean, this is just, that's why nobody ever succeeded. You just can't do it. It's too freaking big and hospitable. Or hostile, or what do you call it? Inhospitable. Yeah. Huh. Interesting, Adamican. Good to see you. Mm. Mm. Whoa. Wind is picking up out there. Hmm. Mm. Hmm. Oh, that really hit the spot. Yeah, I don't exactly know that either, Flatter Sage. why would Russia be Magog? But everybody seems to interpret it like that. I don't know why exactly. Although I've heard people say that it had to do with, I don't know, references. I don't remember the detail. I think it might also have to do with like descriptions of Magog. But yeah, I mean, I've heard about this a while ago. I think like around 2015 or something. Well, there seems to be plenty of videos out there. And even articles that say that Gog and Magog is Russia. So I think it's a rather mainstream interpretation even. Right, but I'm not gonna get into the fine details of that. It was merely just taking notice. I said something about it, Russiafobia, basically yesterday, and then today an article like that popped in my face. Yeah, by the way, our Dutch mainstream media is also just getting terrible. It was already quite terrible. But there's this whole thing going on now in the Netherlands where they're literally trying to get secret services to go after alternative media for like, well, the typical things. It's like, oh, you're criticizing somebody that's supposedly a Jew, right? When they're clearly one of the big families that is just doing super nasty shit all over the world, trying to destroy nations and bragging about it. Well, then they go after you, apparently. And in alternative media things, there are still some left on the television. And they're getting constantly harassed by them, apparently. By the Secret Service here. So that's happening. It's just such a shameful display. Like, nobody likes this. What? Ethiopia? Really? Huh. If Libya is in there, then that doesn't surprise me that Libya got destroyed. That they did that. Like it rising to a gold standard and all that by its own. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, interesting, Luke Duke. You got me hooked. Almost say like, get on here and just do a presentation or something. But anyhow. Oops. What? Hello, Aptman is back. Persia as Iran? Yeah, definitely. Okay, so faulty symbolism? No, I don't think so in this case. And even if there would be faulty symbolism, like this is very widely accepted. This interpretation, letter sage. Like there's literally like mainstream sources with this shit. The presentation would be great. Yeah, I agree. I've seen some though. There are like YouTube presentations about this out there. Maybe Adam Mika knows one. Knows a good one. Is he still in here? Adam, you still here? Ah, right. Yeah, Adam, no, I wanted to know, like, do you have a... There must be sources out there that are, like, about this Bible interpretation of the nations. You must know, like, somebody that has a really good presentation about it. I know you do. I might even be subscribed to some of those channels. Like, what's it called? What? No, damn it. Oh, man. Yeah, by the way, next month, like in roughly a month from now, I'm gonna be streaming back on my old channel. Because then all the strikes will be passed. I have no more risk. So looking forward to that. That's weird. Where is that channel? Didn't change his name, did he? That's annoying. It's really annoying when you lose track of a channel. Like, there's nothing worse than renaming your channel. Seriously, guys. If you rename your channel, it fucks everything up. guess that channel's just gone or something. That's so weird. Still, yeah, I haven't seen any videos about that pop up any ages. What's it named again? All these longer video presentations, pretty well researched. I don't know. I don't remember the name of the channel. I think they renamed it, and you should never do that. Oh, also, I guess that Square Earth Cosmology named their channel back to Free Energy. I noticed that recently, so that happened. Put it back to the old name. Oh, wait. What's it? Was it John Thor? No, it wasn't him. I got way too many channels I'm subscribed to anyway. Way too many. Some of them are really old and they don't do anything. I am very confused that I can't find that channel back. Like, if the channel was deleted, there should still be like a void icon of it left. So I don't know why I can't find it. I used to watch that shit all the time. Where is it? Wait, is this it? I think I found it. It's still out there. Mind Unveiled. I think they haven't done a video in a while. 3 months. Yeah, that makes sense. But they typically do that kind of research. So they might have a video about it. I'm glad I was able to actually find the channel. Alright, here it is. For the record. Careful with the simulant. What? What? You don't think people can understand the future? No, but that's not what a prophecy is, though. Flatter Sage. It's having a vision about the future. It's not whether you understand that vision or not. It's about whether that actually happens or not. I mean, I've had that in my own way. What? No, I'm not gonna have a parade. Appman is back. What kind of a weird question is that? You don't like that channel? Okay, fine. I'm just saying they might have a video about the Gog and Magog Bible prophecy thing. Because that is typically down their lane. That's all. How do we know this will happen? He wanted to have a parade because he bought a new vacuum. That's ridiculous. Right, but Flatter Sage, I mean, that general question, how do you know this will happen? It's based on that some of these things in the prophecies concerning that already have taken place, supposedly. First few moves have already been figured out to have happened, and so the next moves will just happen. That's assumed, at least. And we don't even know like how this whole thing works, in the sense that people in control might literally be desperate to try to actually create it, to make sure that it happens for some really bizarre reason. So you don't know. But it seems to be playing out. Okay, Luke Duke. Okay, app management. Dude, why would you bring that up? Yay, there's this crazy guy. Who gives a fuck? It's really cute and all, but what does this have to do with anything? Why are you bringing this up? Just saying. Why? Why are you just saying that? Why are you just bringing that up? Just super distracting. Is that why you're doing it? Just out of nowhere, bringing something up that's just completely not relevant to anything we were trying to talk about. For what? Oh, look, there's some crazy person from my past. Why would you bring that up? What does it have to do with anything? And why did you feel to bring it up in that moment? Why? Probably. Probably what? Hey, the bad guy. I'm just wondering, like, Appman is back. Are you actually a person or are you a bot? Because those types of totally random insertions seem like bot behavior to me. So are you actually a person? Why don't you type some more? Didn't anything happen to you back then? There's plenty of things that happened, but why the hell would I bring it up? Especially in a conversation like this. I mean, it's not like, hey guys, today we're gonna talk about weird shit that happened to you at some point. Yeah, this is not that show. We're talking about prophecies right now. Do I get many bots on my channels? Well, not overwhelming amounts, but regularly, yes. Could these events have happened prior? The prophecy thing? No. I don't think so. Dude, it's not my special. There's people literally dedicating their entire frickin' lives to that shit. The study of those prophecies, okay? I am not one of those. And yeah, it's being pretty universally insisted that this is what it is. You can just say, I'm not believing it. That's cool, man. Then don't believe it. But there's a lot of people that are agreeing on it with this. Including groups of people that frickin' hate each other. And they'll still agree upon that. So, Okay, I'm gonna kick you out. You are a fucking bot. Piss off. Yeah. Oh, this name you're no. Nobody said that name. Yeah. Nobody. I didn't. Nobody in chat did. You brought it up like a fucking bot. Now fuck off. No more random shit questions. Yeah. Yeah, maybe Luke Duke. Could be. The bodies? 47. What? What does that mean? Drone warfare? Yeah. Correct. Antediluvian catharsis. Thought you were doing Sunday hours today? Well, Nathan is doing Sunday hours, the bad guy. He's starting an hour late, so I'm gonna round out like roughly in half an hour. But then Nathan's not starting up a show just yet. So I will like take that hour to like get some groceries before the show starts. Watch the first hour on demand. Right. It's been a pretty easy going show, really. We're talking about Gog and Magog, and it got brought up because I referenced some shit that's going down, and like how some people in governments are acting like totally Russiaphobic, but like way overboard. And it reminded me a lot about, yeah, tactics of Nazi Germany during World War II, like how they were presenting themselves in the media and shit. I don't know. You'll have to watch it back. I had some interesting things to say, I think. But yeah, now we're just kind of swimming around and then comparing the Gog and Magog prophecy. The Luke Duke is figuring it out. He's like referencing his human studies, or his dad's study about it. They did a global... How do you know that? Look. Mud floods? You're suggesting like it's some kind of organized event. It doesn't make sense though, look, dude. Why the hell would they do that? Like, why? To hide the fact, yeah, but why? That's just... Why would they do that? Why would they just turn everything inside out when everything was that strong? With knowledge of God. And then why would they just try to hide it then? Like, why would they self-destroy? Yeah. So why would they suddenly go in full self-destruction like that? Why? Why would anybody do that for any reason, ever? But there is proof. Yeah, no. Not really. That's right, Antediluvian Catharsis. It doesn't make any sense. It's like illogical for the controlling party to basically destroy the source of their own power, to try to conceal themselves from existing in that way. Like, none of that makes any logical sense. The only thing that does make sense is that they were there, they were in control, they were great, and then somehow they were defeated. If you look at it like that, then it does make sense. What? Black and white photos. Yeah, sure. Did you also know that a lot of black and white photos, a lot of photos in general, are very easily falsified? They figured this out like in the 1900s. Massive photography, engineering. Massive amounts. It was a whole rage. It was a whole thing, like an art form, to screw around with photos. Fully developed in the 19th century. So, I don't believe that pictures of something in the 1800s. No. Yeah, vanilla skies, indeed. But just a lot of photo editing And by the way, Mind Unveiled channel also has dedicated videos to that subject, multiple. So to take a bunch of very old photographs is definitely not proof. It's definitely not solid proof. Because there was massive photo editing going on in the 19th century, including falsifying things, including creating make-believe. How can anyone tell if an old photo is forged? Well, there's ways to figure that out. Watch Mind Unveiled. He does a lot of videos about it. How to recognize it. But also some you just don't know. You just won't know. Because it was all manual, right, in that time. Yeah, please don't do caps. Thank you very much. Right. Right, so there's no like Photoshop action trail left behind, right? So signs like that. It was all hand done trickery. It's only one photo that's gonna be left from that, and that's it. Because they all did the trickery, all did it manual, and yeah, you just can't know. You can guess it, you can look at little signs that it might be forged, but you just don't know. Right, a good photo specialist that knows about old chemical photos, yeah, they might know what to look for. Yeah, well, antediluvian catharsis. Look, I think that Tartaria is or was an actual thing. It's just been super overblown. I mean, I genuinely believe that like the technological development curve has been like cut off from us. Like things developed, they become too good, so then they need to be gotten rid of or put like in the shadow so nobody knows about it until it's ready to be unrolled industrially, and so that the grabblers can profit from all of it. And that keeps happening every freaking age. Every age that keeps happening. So I think that Tartaria was definitely there. It was probably pretty advanced, very advanced, and spiritually advanced and all that. But then people now trying to figure it out, they're just overblowing it, like, oh, they had full electricity and all this thing, and who knows what people make up as to what they could do. Maybe they had flying ships, like, well, airships wouldn't even be that illogical to have. But beyond that, maybe they had Tesla tech, maybe they even had death rate. You could like exaggerate it enormously. So I think that people now that are like really into Tartaria, they overblow it. But I do think there was definitely something there. Like an empire, but like a cultural based empire that's I think it was a thing. An alliance at least between big nations. Why do you say no such thing as nukes? Because nuclear fission is science fiction. That doesn't exist. Hiroshima was firebombed. I mean, they can torch things just fine. They don't need nukes to fry cities. Nukes just make it, it's just a dramatic element to it. It's theater. The idea of a giant bomb and everything blows apart. And then radioactivity. It's theater. In reality, they just firebomb the shit out of places. Like Dresden. Or Japan. A lot of it. It was a directed... No. It was a... No. There was nothing different. It was just firebombs. No energy beam. It was just firebombs. Yeah. Nagasaki and Hiroshima looked exactly the same as the other firebombed cities of Japan. Exactly the same. No difference. No blown apart buildings. It was just burned out. Exactly the same as the other cities. Nothing happened. It was just a firebomb, and the nukes is a media operation. It's there to seem very, very scary. Giant bomb, everything blows up. And science fiction media, through movies and all that, they did the rest. It's just fear, fear, fear. Giant explosion, everything's over, it's all ruined forever. Fear, fear, fear. That's all it ever was. Pure fear operation. They don't do anything like that. And yeah, firebombing is horrific. I mean, everything is destroyed from a firebomb. Everything. So, I mean, oh, it's horrific. I mean, what more do you want? Like the photos I was talking about? Well, yeah, I guess, but I mean, the whole Manhattan Project, that was the movie age. It was filmed, so it's a little bit more tricky to make a fooling film, right? All the mini models, the nukes, where you see the buildings literally blow apart like dust, while the camera stays perfectly, unshakingly still, filming it all. Like that stuff. That's trickery video. And yeah, they used trickery on the video. Where before it was all photography trickery, and people were more convinced, like in the 19th century, about photography. Where a bunch of people that were let down all kinds of weird delusional beliefs because of photography. People were kind of easily fooled like that. And then with the video age, that became even worse. But video was very much through television and through the state under control. State had a lot of control, so that immediately centralized the plots. So basically, through photography, people figured out how they could fool others and lead them down delusional paths for whatever, probably to steal from them or have them donate lots of money to them or whatever, for some fake project. And then the state basically monopolized on it in the video era. So now they were the arbiters of trickery in order to fool the public into giving them money. And photos wouldn't do it anymore. People wouldn't be super interested. They wouldn't be fascinated because now there's moving pictures. Like them faking their crowd first. Oh, fisheye lens, I mean, that was figured out pretty quickly. Hey, Guns of Neveron, good to see you. The movie open, yeah, dude, it's pure propaganda. Guns of Neveron. Thanks for reminding me. I have actually seen some trailers of that. Yeah. No, look, Duke, I mean, the whole thing is idiotic. It doesn't work. It can't work. Like, if nuclear fission like that was possible, then nuclear reactors would literally be way too dangerous. Because it literally suggests that if you just have enough of the material together, that there will be a critical mass that causes the nuclear explosion. So I'm not talking about like, oh, the Fukushima plant got damaged and then there's a hydrogen explosion, which can be pretty heavy, right? Because, yeah, hydrogen buildup, static electricity, boom, pretty big explosion. But I mean, that's not a nuclear explosion. If nuclear fission was real like that, then freaking Fukushima, man, it would have literally been like a super huge nuclear explosion and it would have left a gigantic crater in that valley. Well, that didn't happen at all. And just because you have an explosion with some kind of mushroom cloud doesn't mean it's a nuclear explosion. Right. Because that's what it suggests, right? I mean, it's literally, oh, you have the plutonium. It has to hit each other. With the hydrogen bomb, supposedly, it's like even exploded into each other. Like compressed. And that's supposed to cause it. If that was real, then nuclear power plants would be so fucking dangerous, they would never be built. Yeah, nuclear power plants are just big kettles. That's literally what they are. It's just a heating element, just boiling water, creating a turbine, and that's it. Nuclear power, do they only boil what? I think they can boil oil as well. There might be some oil-based nuclear power plants. They use very specific oil. I don't know, I'm not sure. Might be. Okay, Luke Duke, thanks. I didn't know that. Weird. Brown coal. Do you like mine it? Some oily ground? Oily type coal? It's weird. Hey Kevlar, good to see you. Oh, yeah. Damn it. You're right. Thanks for spell correction there. Whoa. Edward. Huh. Yeah, they really like to have just really big explosions. So that's what nukes really are. Just a gigantic building stacked with TNT. Like a really, really huge block completely filled up with TNT, and then they just set it off and it leaves like this huge mushroom cloud. And that's what basically is the nuke. It's literally just a giant exaggeration. Yeah, they even describe it to amount of TNT. Yeah, they do. They describe it in kilotons. don't they? It's so ironic that it's there. It's like, well, this nuke is so powerful, it is like this amount of TNT. This... Don't fucking do that. Those have eyes. Yeah, I've seen it. It's stupid. It's really cheap. But yeah, I know about shitty movies. And now these days I know about shitty games as well. Okay, Luke. It was bulldozed. Why though? Why did they bulldoze it? Did their mine run dry or something? Is radiation fake? No, there is something like radiation. It's just complicated. Alright, but I mean, radiation dangers are like super overhyped. Different types of yes. Oh, and for example, like plutonium, right? The radiation danger from plutonium is not terrible. I don't think so, at least. But plutonium in itself is super, super toxic. Right? So the toxicity is actually the danger factor with plutonium. Not so much the radiation. Because I think that overall, like, radiation that we can create through electricity is much more dangerous than radiation caused by material. Because it can just be so much stronger. But it's already like being equated. Like radiation from cell phones and cell phone towers versus radiation from nuclear material. And nuclear material, like, it's not going to be that much. But yeah, cell phone tower, you pump more energy into it and literally more radiation comes out. Right? And here comes Owen Benjamin's bizarre theory about how 5G towers could be used to literally irradiate an entire city in a simulated nuclear attack. Where a big bomb blows up somewhere, then they say, oh, it's nuclear, it was nuclear, oh no. And then literally the 5G towers just go blasting and everybody gets radiation poisoning. That was a theory of his, and I thought it was, well, bizarre. But there might be something to that, to at least it being possible. Right? And 5G systems literally have patents for doing such things, for being able to do that. The only issue would be, where do they get the energy? Because when does radiation from electrical devices become dangerous? Well, when you juice it up. So where would it get that power to become that dangerous? That would be the big question. It's like they would require a separate, ironically, nuclear power plant, a heavy plant, energy plant, to be able to get the electricity together in order to have a nuclear radiation type simulation event using 5G devices. You would need a lot of electricity. It would have to be available for that entire period. That's the big thing. That's what makes it much less feasible, but still potentially possible. It would be just a huge trick. Right? But this is overall my conclusion, and that is that, yeah, radiation, it can be dangerous if you have big enough amounts of it. But technically, electrical devices are potentially much more dangerous in the amount of radiation that they can create than nuclear material. I genuinely think that. Okay, look, dude, that's interesting. I didn't know they did that. They use sound frequency to break kidney stones. That's a fascinating idea. How creative. Huh. Yeah, I know, antediluvian catharsis. It is an issue. And it's still doable, though. It's still, I mean, I live in a city. There's freaking mobiles everywhere. Like, every fucking person has one. It's so unbelievably annoying that the world is like that now. I really, really hate it. I wish it wasn't like that. I miss the 90s in that sense. Spanish flu, radio waves. Yeah, there's that thing. That's right. Because Spanish flu directly linked to both a vaccination event, really, because they vaccinated a lot of military people, actually. Huge amounts. That also happened. But also they rolled out big radar. Like, which would, like, encompass the world. And it did. And that certainly also had an influence. Like, there was literally a whole range of animals, not like entire species, but just animals would literally just suddenly die. And people too. because that radio frequency was something that they could not physically handle. And the rest was able to survive and adapt. But yeah, when they first started to unroll radar on a big scale, like it killed massive amounts of animals and people. FED? Yeah, there will be FED, but it's going to be an hour late. Nathan's going to start later. Radio? Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Radio came first, right? Radar came after. You're right. Right, but when they started to use like big national and international radio systems, that's when that happened. Check is live now. What the hell? Right, anyway, I was gonna round out the show anyway. Been going for 2 hours. It's been interesting. So thanks everyone for coming. I hope you liked this show. If you did, then please don't forget to Rogans it up. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification so you know when I'm going live, which is normally 1 p.m. Amsterdam time in the weekdays and 2 p.m. Amsterdam time in the weekend. And please also do support me through the PayPal and the Patreon. That would be much appreciated and I can really use it. So please, any support would be welcome. Right. So I'll be back tomorrow with Flat Earth Early Bird number 1616 on a Tuesday, and I'm gonna join the Flat Earth debates over at Nathan Oakley 1980 channel. I don't know if it's already started up, but we'll see when it starts. I'll be on it. Right, I hope to see you all there, and until the next video, keep it flat.